Hello, Ken. Hope everybody's doing well. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, and hit that notification bell. I greatly appreciate it, and want to send a thank you out to everybody that's already done so. Let's just get right into it. I'm not really sure what to make of this game. It feels a lot like the Michigan State Northwestern game. Miami is unknown. They struggled against Alabama, but most teams do. And they also struggled against Appalachian State, but Appalachian State is a pretty good team, and they're usually at the top of their conference, even though it's a smaller one. So I don't really know what to make of them. And on the flip side of that, Michigan State's only played Northwestern, who doesn't look like much of a world beater right now, and Youngstown State. So I'm not really sure what to say about this game. I don't know how it's all going to play out. All right, I'm just going to say it. I think Michigan State's going to win by 3. There's a lot of factors outside of the way the teams play that could have an effect on this game. But the way I feel about it is that, based on what I've seen so far, Michigan State has been the more disciplined and better coached team. So I am going to take that versus any outside factors, which I'll touch on a little bit, but like weather and things like that. So I guess if you're gonna hold me to it and I have to pick a team, I'm gonna take Michigan State on the road to win by 3. I think it's gonna be a close game. I feel like it's gonna be a very close game. It really could go either way, but I just feel like through the first couple weeks that Michigan State has been the more disciplined team. They've been the more disciplined, the better looking team. They've played better as a team, and they've done their assignments well. And I feel like those are all the areas where Miami's really struggled. I think Miami is a talented team, but they have struggled to take care of their jobs individually to make the whole team work. On defense, they have a hard time of staying home. They'll over pursue. They'll have the eyes maybe on the wide receiver when they're, maybe the linebacker's looking at the wide receiver when he should be looking in the backfield. Offensively, I feel like the Miami offensive line has had a lot of miscommunication errors. They've missed blitzes when they've done, especially against Appalachian State, I noticed a few times where the defensive line would stunt, and they'd have a hard time picking that up. Sometimes it did, sometimes it didn't. So I think that's a miscommunication kind of thing. We've seen similar out of Michigan State to this point. It's not happening with any degree of troubling degree of regularity, but it is happening. So I'm gonna take Michigan State. Reasons why I think Miami could win: they have a dynamic quarterback, the likes of which Michigan State has not seen yet. De'Aaron King can throw the ball, though his accuracy isn't always the best. But where he's really going to be a different look for the Spartans is his ability to run with the football and to make plays when plays start to break down. His ability to scramble could cause issues. They also use him a little bit in the run game with some read option, and he's fast. He's probably one of the faster players that Michigan State has seen so far this year. So, that could end up proving to be a pivotal piece for the Miami Hurricanes. I feel like Miami's running back is also pretty good. Probably the best running back that Michigan State has seen to this point in the season. The offensive line, like I said, has been pretty up and down for them. The wide receivers can be dynamic, but are a little inconsistent. So we'll have to see how that all plays out. Defensively, like I said, they're a little bit of a mess. I don't know what to take away from the Appalachian State game because the Mountaineers were so spread out that Miami was spreading their defense out quite a bit, and I don't think that they will do that or can afford to do that against Michigan State. They're going to have to put more guys in the box, or they're going to have to go one-on-one on the outside. And so it's going to come down to, I think, how much pressure they can get on Peyton Thorne, how quickly that pressure can get there. Because I think they're going to have to leave at least one receiver corner matchup out there. The corner's going to have to be on an island. So if Peyton Thorne gets time and he's able to, pick that defense apart, that could prove troublesome for Miami. So I'm not really sure how it's all going to play out. Miami's been pretty up and down. Michigan State's been solid, but they haven't really been tested yet. So we'll have to see how everything shakes out. I don't really know what to make of it. I expect Michigan State's running game to continue to have success. I don't see Miami stopping the run game. They could slow it down, maybe prevent some of those big splash plays because Miami's got a decent amount of team speed. So maybe they'll cut down on that a little bit, but any over pursuit on their part is going to prove troublesome because Kenneth Walker has shown good vision and a great ability to cut up the field and get north and south quickly. So they're going to have to be careful. I expect they're going to come out with a conservative game plan. I don't think, here's my bold prediction, if you want to call it that, I do not think Michigan State's going to score on their first offensive play. However, I do think Michigan State will score on their opening offensive drive. I think that will result in a touchdown. I think Miami's going to play pretty conservative early on and just kind of test the waters and see. I think they'll leave their safeties back. They'll kind of leave their corners out there and see how they feel about their corners going against Reed and Naylor. If they feel like their corners can man up and hold their own, then they'll probably start to roll at least one safety down into the box to help account for the run game. So we'll just have to see how that all shakes out. I don't, gosh, I mean, it's tough. The other issue is the weather. It can be difficult for a team from, like, Michigan to go down to Florida because, you know, right now they're showing a heat index, I think, of like 99 degrees, 87% humidity, typical Florida weather. So it's going to be hot, it's going to be humid, and does Michigan State have the depth if it's a close game late, you know, late in the fourth quarter? Are they going to get run down? I've heard Michigan State's been practicing, you know, indoors. They've had the temperature turned up to like 90 degrees, but you can't simulate the humidity, and sometimes that can just feel heavy and oppressive. And we've had some cooler weeks here in Michigan to where your body might not be as adapted to it as you think. It's pretty easy to get comfortable once the humidity goes away, and I feel like it takes a while once the humidity, you know, starts to ramp up for your body to start to get used to it again, especially when you're doing strenuous activities such as playing football. So do I think it's going to be the major deciding factor? No. Could it play a role? Yeah, possibly. We'll just have to see what the weather does. It could be wet and rainy, so that could turn things into a slugfest, which I think favors Michigan State as well. But Miami, don't sleep on Miami. Just because they've struggled out the gate doesn't mean that they're not a talented team. I think they're talented, and they have more speed across the board than Michigan State has seen by far this year. The speed that Miami is going to be able to put on the field is going to be vastly different and way better than anything Northwestern or Youngstown State has put on the field to this point. So, you know, that could prove troublesome. Who knows? We'll see. I expect Michigan State to keep it primarily on the ground and try to grind things out. I think that's where they have the advantage. I think they'll be a bit stronger, bigger and stronger up front. So hopefully they'll be able to push Miami around a little bit and open up that run game. And then everything should go smoothly from there. Yeah, it's really, those are my takes on the game. I don't, I'm taking Michigan State, but I don't feel comfortable about it. I really do feel like it's a toss-up. Could go either way. I'm expecting some dynamic plays on both sides of the ball from both teams, so we'll just have to see how everything shakes out. It is Michigan State on the road, but traditionally Michigan State has played pretty well on the road, so I'm taking Michigan State by 3, and we'll see how everything plays out. I do want to see how Peyton Thorne does against perhaps the best pass rush they've seen so far this year. I think Miami can bring some pressure. They can bring some speed off the edge, and we'll see how the offensive tackles and the offensive line adjusts to that. And we'll see how Peyton Thorne make those throws he was making against Youngstown State while he's under pressure. He hasn't been put in that position yet. I'm not saying it's a guarantee he will against Miami, but it's certainly a better. It's the best athletes that the offensive line will have gone against so far in this season. So we'll see how all that shakes out. Yeah, remember to like, subscribe, comment, and hit that notification bell. And we'll see if the Spartans can pull out another one. So go green, and remember, all love, all the time. Peace.